I gave my heart to Jesus when I was 4 years old. I had a great childhood. My dad was pastor my whole life. We were in church every time the doors were open. I loved Jesus and I knew that he loved me. In the year 2000 I got married and I got pregnant, and shortly after we had the baby I was told that I wasn't loved anymore and I wasn't wanted as a wife. I felt rejected, and I was wanting affection, and I just wanted to feel accepted. I wanted to feel loved. And since he wasn't giving that to me, I went out looking for it. And in that process, I met my second husband, who, when we first got married, we also went through a battle where I felt rejected by him as well. So the downward spiral of still going out and trying to find acceptance from other men, it lingered through my second marriage as well. And I got to where I resented my husband. I didn't even have a love for him anymore. I was just craving affection from anybody at this point. And so I would find myself with people I wouldn't normally be with, and that made me feel like trash. And then I felt like I was carrying around this big scarlet letter A on my chest and everybody knew. And so I was known as the Target whore. I even had somebody call me that, not to my face, but I heard that I was called the Target whore. Since I knew better, and with my upbringing, I was afraid to go to Jesus with this issue that I was having, this addiction for affection, I guess is what you could call it, because I knew better, but for some reason I just didn't feel like God would forgive me because I thought I knew better, and he knew that I knew better. So this continued on for years, and then it got to a point to where I was so depressed with not being satisfied with the acceptance that I thought I was getting from other men. We went to the uprising last year at Quest Community Church, and we were told stories, lots of stories of God's redemption in people's lives, and there were several stories that were just like mine. And that's when I realized that I too can be forgiven. There were even pastors there who were getting saved for the first time. And so that helped me realize that God's grace was enough for me as well. Even though I knew better, his grace was enough for me. And then this last year we went to Quest, and because throughout this whole time I'm still feeling dirty and like trash, and that everybody could see my scarlet letter, and that I was going to have this hanging over me for the rest of my life. And this past year we went to Quest again for the uprising. We were given stones to write labels that we had placed on ourselves that were keeping us from moving forward and fulfilling the call that we know God has on our life. And I wrote on mine that I felt like trash and I felt dirty. And we were told to take those back up to the stage. There was this big cross in front of the stage, and it had all these other little rocks that around the foot of the cross that had other labels put on them. And we were told to throw ours away, the labels that we had placed on ourselves, to throw ours away, and to pick up a rock, a new label, the way that Jesus sees us. The first one that I saw was innocent. And so I chucked my ugly trash rock, and I picked up the one that said innocent. And it was at that moment that I felt like God had forgiven me, because I asked him to forgive me last year at Quest. It was just still that label that was hanging over my head of still feeling unworthy and just nasty. I just felt nasty, like that scarlet letter on my chest. And so when I picked up the innocent, I left the ugly scarlet letter A there at the foot of the cross. And I prayed for God to give me a love for my husband, because once I fixed the relationship between me and God, I knew that I had to fix my relationship with my husband because I wanted it. I didn't want it to end like my first marriage did. So I asked God to give me a love for my husband, and he has done that, and we have we're celebrating 10 years of marriage this year, and I don't think I could love another man more than I love Jeffrey Schulenberg. He's the absolute best. He's stuck by me. He knows everything that I've been through. We've been through a lot together, but he knows what I've been through, and he still loves me. He still wanted me through all of it. can't wait to see what God has in store for us for the rest of our lives. Hi, my name is Lisa Schulenberg.